It
Yeah.
starts now.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the notification. So we'll say it's not officially live until I get a notification. Unless ID10T has lost his notifications. That could be the case. Okay, now we're live. 4 seconds in. Okay.
Wait, I'm confused. Jimmy James Mendoza said, "What time does the live stream start?" On the live stream?
I think might have something to do with the way that we had it already built, ready to go. I don't know.
Jimmy, you're psychic.
Yeah. Okay, we've got 4 concurrent viewers. Slightly Stacy is here. So Stacy, you get no, you're the number 1. Okay, Jimmy James was not here live. You're the number 1 comment. But
I don't know,
interestingly,
psychically, Jimmy James was
he
first.
was first psychically, but Stacy's here. Okay, let's everybody who's here, announce yourself. Let's see who's
Hey,
here.
Genji. Hey.
Genji waving. Stacy took away her. Oh, hopefully she's putting a first place medal.
Or she's mad because she's like, actually, I was first.
Hi, Diane. Diane Kennedy. Hello. Welcome.
Diane Kennedy. Hello
Myrna,
from Australia.
there we go.
Myrna King.
Austin. Cindy Garman from Georgia. Yeah, Stacy, you get the first place.
Stacy's
K3K.
back.
Yeah. Oh, it's Keck 9 the greatest. Okay. St. Jerome of Crypto Experiences says hi. Well, hello, St. Jerome. Okay, we're definitely live. So,
Silver Creek, BC, Canada.
let me introduce the show here. Looking down at my paper. So, hey, everybody, welcome to episode 6. We're going to title it Monsters. And this episode, we're going to cover some connections to the stars, monsters, Orion, and the Pleiades, some information from ancient Egypt. We're going to have more lip reads from the Bush funeral. And we're going to stay tuned. We have a special tribute to good old 45. I know everybody was feeling pretty rough last week about how bad things have gotten. I agree they're bad, but there's still hope. So we put together something for that. Yeah. Nicholas.
Sarah Jane, hello.
Nicholas
Aloha.
Giamato. Sorry, talk over you, Gunner's wife. Trying to get
That's
things
okay.
going here.
Yeah,
Nicholas
get it going.
Diamato says Armor of God. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the scripture, biblical text relating to monsters, demons, and things like that. So we're going to lead out with a picture that the Gunner's wife has asked us to show. Oop, that is not the right one. I am already about to get fired. Sorry, Gunner's wife. Okay, and I just got the notification. All right, Gunner's wife, you want to talk about this to your 179 concurrent viewers?
Apparently, the Trumps hunt reptiles. So in the swamp. So this is quite a photo. And then obviously you already showed.
Yeah, I screwed it
the
up.
Punchline first. ID10T.
Oh no.
Which
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna fire you 3 seconds in because I need you for the rest of the show.
No.
Otherwise, if this was 3 seconds left,
Okay,
I don't know.
we'll do a
you'd
poll.
be on the chopping block. Got to get rough with ID10T. You know, he's a bad robot sometimes.
Okay, well, we're going to put a poll out. Fans, I'm looking for you to save my job. Please. I need it. I'm voting. Actually, I'm going to vote myself. No. Okay.
ID10T. Okay, now show the punchline.
All right, here's the punchline.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary, with a fantastic 1999 super chat. Thank you, Mary. Hey, guys, with 3 heart emojis. Want to make sure I read your comment.
Okay, so, but the Trump boys aren't the only ones that are hunting reptiles of the swamp because, as you know, everyone here, you guys on the chat, ID10T, and myself are also in the swamp hunting reptilians or reptiles or whatever, lizards. And I've also designated myself royalty in this photo.
Yes, Gunner's wife.
Because isn't that how that goes? Like, where's the official paperwork for a royal? Like, they kind of self-designate, so why don't we all designate ourselves also as equal royalty?
Well, first of all, I like I like the crown you put on the tree, and I like the Godzilla. But you know who the real royalty is? The King of Kings, and it's so interesting because we're going to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that. So, got a little bit of assignment from the Gunner's wife talking about more stuff about reptilians. There's some interesting connections to the stars, also ancient Egypt. Sorry, I scratched my nose and it makes me act crazy. So, um, a lot of people are having, I think, a hard time with, the idea of extraterrestrial beings, spirits, or demons. But what I'd say is there's like absolutely in the scripture, in the Bible, it talks about this being a real thing. So we're going to kind of get into it, and we're also going to talk about like that connection to the Egyptians, and we'll talk about a little bit more of that on the end. Hey, Crypto Experiences by St. Jerome with the $5 super chat. Okay,
Thank you,
everybody,
crypto.
are we ready for? Oh my gosh, Patrick Holleran with a 9.99 super chat. Hey, look, we got
Thank you,
300
Patrick.
people here. Oh, I'm sorry, Gunner's wife. Go ahead.
I said thank you, Patrick.
I always talk over Gunner's wife when she goes to thank you guys. We've got 300 people here, but we have only 96 likes. That's ridiculous. Let's bump those
Oh
numbers
my
up. Those are rookie numbers. That's a.
Guys, ID10T is the most ADHD robot, so he is very focused on numbers. He's a numbers guy. So,
All right. Anyway, we're gonna get over to the video here. We're gonna start it over. Everybody, listen up and let me know what you think at the end of it. Archaeologists in Egypt announced Monday that they've uncovered a trove of ancient artifacts at the necropolis of Saqqara near Cairo, including mummies and bronze statues dating back 2,500 years. In March 2022, five 4,000-year-old tombs belonging to senior Egyptian officials were discovered. Also, a 9-meter-long papyrus scroll, which could be a depiction of a chapter of the Book of the Dead, was discovered. The Egyptians worshipped many gods, one of them Osiris, the god of death and afterlife. He was embodied by the stars in Orion. And the relative positions of the three main ancient Egyptian pyramids on the Giza Plateau, by design, correlated with the relative positions of the three stars in the constellation of Orion, which make up Orion's belt, as these stars appeared in 10,000 BC. Osiris had two offspring, one of them being Horus, who is depicted as a bird-like god. Another god of the Egyptians is Sobek, who is a solar god who above all else is aggressive and animalistic. Some of his common epithets betray this nature succinctly, the most notable of which being he who loves robbery, and he who eats while he also mates, and of pointed teeth. The Egyptian gods came from the stars, and could these gods be demonic beings from the stars? Ancient accounts have the constellation Orion depicted as a hunter, and he is hunting the seven sisters, or the Pleiades. The Holy Bible says God cast demons from heaven, and the great demon can travel from heaven or the stars to earth until the revelation where he's cast out permanently. There is most certainly a precedent for reptilian-like demons and other demonic action happening on earth. Could we be experiencing attacks by actual demons? Demons who've come from the stars? ID10T reports. There it is. That is the first time that the Gunner's wife has seen that video. What do you think, Gunner's wife?
well, are okay, so they're from this it's it said that they were from the stars, but didn't they get thrown out from the heavens onto this planet? Is that so then,
Yeah, we can talk
it
about
makes
that.
me
Yeah.
think cuz this week I saw Diane Kerr said on Twitter, she said that she's really kind of wondering about this moon satellite thing because it is kind of part of the earth. And so did these demons, this demonic entity set up shop with like a satellite radio wave beams coming from the moon so they feel like they're still in the stars, but they're really not because I thought they got kicked out. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Well, let me elaborate on that, Gunner's wife, then we'll take some questions from the chat. But before we do that, I think the first thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to thank Patrick Holleran with a 9.99 super chat, Mama Bika with a 4.99 super chat, and Carolyn Burton with a 9.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that support. That really goes a long way with helping the Gunner's wife. She works super hard on these things and her business and getting the show out there. So that goes a long way for her. Um, okay, so let's get back to that video, and I'm going to pause it on a couple of these scriptures, right? So the first one, which I think you'll find quite interesting, Gunner's wife, is in Revelation, the revelation of John, where he sees into the future and it's revealed to him what happens is basically at the end, when it's all said and done, and I'm going to read this verbatim from the scripture. And the great dragon was cast out, the ancient serpent, he who is called devil and Satan, he who deceives the whole habitable world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So what this is saying is when God has finally had enough at the end, Satan is cast out of heaven with his angels, with his demons to earth forever. Okay, so what this is telling us is this is telling us that he has the ability now, presently, to travel above the firmament to heaven and back in between the earth and heaven. And um, there's two other passages that I'll read, but what do you think about that? The great dragon, Gunner's wife.
um, I don't know. I thought he got kicked out and cast to earth a long time ago. So I'm not sure that he's freely traveling um onto different planets, but low low and woes to the planets where this thing has set up also besides earth, because man, the misery that evil causes on our planet is miserable.
It sure is. And you know what? I think I can explain that, Gunner's wife. But before I do, everybody, we've hit 400 viewers. Thank you so much. Thank you for getting that like surge out there. And let's make sure that if we haven't, if maybe one out of 10 of you hit the share button and share this out,
Okay.
then maybe get more people here.
I like Paul Cannon's comment. He's like, Snaken equals an ancient runaway AI developed by ancient ETs. Now, was is it ancient or is it future Elon Musk's future humanity that then because at some point Elon's driving us toward an AI integration where we're no longer going to be humans and we're no longer going to have control of our own soul consciousness when he makes us part robots and taps us into their Twitter grid.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good point. I think we've got a very nascent understanding about the way that time works and the way that these forces, artificial intelligence and intelligence probably without a soul, I think we're just kind of diving into these ideas. Okay, everybody, before I get to these two passages, update on the poll. Do we fire ID 10T? 86% people said no, but I'm shocked that 13% wanted to get rid of me. So I guess I guess those people are stuck.
Hey, they're hardcore.
Yeah, you know what? High standards, just like the gunner's wife. That's
Those are
good.
probably my people right there.
Tammy Condor says, "Great job on the movie ID 10T." Well, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a good
Sky
job.
Blue shared. Thank you so much, Sky Blue.
Mm.
Okay, so here we are, right? Like there's two particular passages I want to talk about. So in Job 1:7, the Lord said to Satan, so he's talking to him, Where have you
I
come
hate
from?
that name,
I know,
dude.
I
Come
know,
on, we use codes here.
I know.
Dude.
Okay. Well, the Lord says to him, where have you come from? He answers back to the Lord, from roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it. So he's like going around, going back and forth, at least then, causing problems. Is he still doing it today? I say yes, but that's just my
You
opinion.
mean beyond Earth? Well, he's definitely doing it here.
Yeah,
Everybody knows it. I
but
mean, come on.
he
For
goes back and
realist.
forth. He's screwing around. And then Luke uh, at 10:18 said, "I saw him fall from like lightning from heaven." Okay, so he's seen him come to the earth from the firmament, from the sky. Okay, he's here. He's causing problems. We got ancient Egyptians with reptilian gods who like eat people and do all kinds of crazy, messed up, violent things while they're like mating.
What do you mean ancient?
Huh? What?
So you mean it was also going on back then?
I guess that's
Because
what I mean. Okay, so let's get your take on that one, Gunner's wife. What do you
I
think?
can't. I mean, I can't really elaborate on that except that it's definitely still going on.
It's definitely still going on for sure.
Yeah. They're
Okay,
sick.
so let's take a look at the chat, Gunner's wife. Why don't you pick a couple comments?
Definitely. Let me see. Mm, they I mean, some of it's just chatter. Okay, angels walk among us. Yeah. I mean, what's your soul drive, right? You're making a choice here. Is it evil? Is it Jesus? Because that's a whole different, like, it's tuning into like a music rate, like a radio station with music. What song do you hear and play in your life is what are you tuned into? Um, don't tune into evil. Very bad, very bad. Love you both. Sky Blue, love you too. Um, as in the days of Noah, says Rosemary Paul.
So there's another comment. STRTRKN says Isaiah 14:12. So I'm actually going to make a note of that. I'll go back to that and take a look at that.
Jesus is the way, Molly J. Okay,
All right,
so
go ahead.
um, are we ready for more conversations from the Bush funeral? Because I thought this week I was going to get a little closer to some stuff, but I ended up discovering a whole lot of extra, very important details that we want to keep in mind as we move toward revealing what exactly is in Laura Bush's envelope and others. But we have some very good insight based on these conversations that I've decoded for this week. And when we know the full picture, you're going to know exactly what's in those notes. I won't even have to tell you because I'm going, but I am going to tell you. But just we're not there yet, but I'm going to give you lots of insight to think about and ponder on this week, and then next week we'll get a little bit deeper.
Yeah, you got to just work at your pace and do what you're called to do. Jeff Trago sent a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, Stronger 77 is here from Ireland. It's 2:20 a.m. What are you doing up? Glad
Whoa,
that you're here.
rad. That's
Linda Elton
rad.
says, "Thank you, Gunner's wife. You have a great talent."
Thank you.
And Lake is saying, "I can't wait till you cover the Queen's Jubilee." Oh, that just happened,
Ugh.
didn't it?
Guys, these swamp events are just endless, aren't they? It's like, yeah, we could just it just never ends, the shenanigans. But you guys luckily can sit and pick it apart and observe it because I know you have the eye.
All right, we're almost at 500. Let's keep pushing. Let's get it out there. Let's share it on all your different social media outlets, and then we're gonna
Thank you.
roll this video right now. Gunner's wife, thank you for making it. We're gonna hit play right now.
Last episode, we saw tons of lip reads from the Bush funeral, including what Trump said to Laura Bush about her letter. Can't wait till you see the note. It's something that came from me. But let's circle back to this lies because there's a whole lot you need to see. So why is Trump so excited for Laura to see the note from him? Let's circle back to this clip where we saw Bush before telling that weird crowd, let's do it for evil. This is a scene from the Lies in State when Bush's casket was in the rotunda all day. And later that evening, we see the Bushes come in for a scheduled appearance like rock stars. We see Laura say something to someone who's off to her right as she's passing by. I need you to spy on the manager for that place. Then we see this man. Guess you're not afraid of the Constitution. Once the United States gets hit by a train, they bullet freeze the Constitution. The Bushes walk in and they're greeted by these weird cult-like members. Both the members and the Bush family act very strange at this event. I'm gonna help that kid when he asks. I'm looking forward to camping. I'm gonna help that kid when he asks. Very strange at this event. Hello. We hear the Bush's commentary and see the Bush's behavior, and it's truly quite sickening. We already know that Trump and Durham were filming this entire event as like a sting operation, but we hear one of the camera ladies say, and then we hear this guy offer, I guess, a snack like peanuts. I guess the kid doesn't want it, but a very strict auntie says, trauma's when you're 6 feet into the earth. Now watch how nice Jenna is. I understand this might be difficult for children, but if the children don't eat the peanut snacks together, they end up dead. Hi. Now let's cut back over to Jeb and Columba. We have to be careful. Have you noticed our government really doesn't want you bringing around kids? Bodyguards are sprinkled in the Marine Corps. I guess this is technically a snake's ring. Cameras could be hidden in the box. You already checked for those. Have a good time. I might enjoy it. We're meeting little bitty children. Chupacabra. Okay, leave the cop at the door. What is he doing so close to us? He can't say nothing. I'm the gunner's wife.
All right. Well, there it is. What do you think, Gunner's wife? You want to guide us through a little bit about what you discovered there?
Well, we see some stuff that speaks for itself that I can't really elaborate on here. But um, these freaks walk in to this ritual around this box. And when they walk in, they're greeted with all these weirdos that look like some kind of a doomsday cult or something. And the look in their eye, what I want to do though, before I go further, I want to answer any questions that you guys have about that because I know that the information goes fast and then you'll have to wait to catch it on when we post it to really kind of slow it down or pause it or look at it and kind of figure out what you just saw because it is very surprising and unexpected. Um, and if you guys have any questions, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat.
Okay.
But
Yeah, so I'll grab a couple comments out of there for you, Gunner's wife. So, who was it that was saying that Laura Bush is creepy? There are people who are just creepy, and I think there's something like maybe it's your pineal gland, but something like inside you instinctually knows like that there's something wrong there, right? Like when you see like a very scary spider, sometimes you'll have that same reaction to a person who apparently is normal, and I think that there's something going on there. What do you think about that, Gunner's wife?
yeah, so what did Jenna say about? the snack from Teamer. So so they come in and they're like really, can you loop the video behind us while we're talking so
Yeah,
people can
absolutely.
get a look? Um when they come in, people have this like zombie look in their eye and they're super huggy. Like overly odd, oddly friendly. It's just very weird. I thought this was someone's funeral, but I mean, obviously we know we debunked that, but they come in and they're like, you know, almost like they're in themselves lowercase gods, like, and these people are like their followers or something. Except what I notice as I progress through this specific event is that besides their invited starstruck cult, the rest of the people here, like the everydays, like me and you, oh my gosh, the things that the crowd is saying to the bushes is awesome. Like they're like calling them, misfits and um new world order, how do you live with yourself? And they're basically kind of the entire crowd besides their cult members that which circle around in front. um they're basically trolling the bushes. Like this whole crowd has is not happy about this family at all, and they're saying stuff. And so what George Bush does when he walks in is he's trying to troll back. He's trying to have these little one-liner comebacks to everybody, and he's like bitter and he's very kind of hostile, like passive aggressive in his responses. But I think that they're there for one thing, and they're there for this cult, and then they're there for like snacks and stuff. And then um we see uh what's her face, the daughters basically saying you're going to finish all of it, or you know I can't really
Yeah,
get too much in
we're
it, but
getting a
when it
little bit.
posts you can rewatch it and
Yeah.
then you guys can figure out, do your own decode on the decode, and then you'll figure out exactly what she says to people in the crowd.
All right. Well, a few people are saying, Gunner's wife, you are beautiful as always. Want to let you know that you look beautiful today, Gunner's wife.
Thank you. And then we see Jeb and Columba. I think her name's Columba. They're super paranoid. Like Jeb thinks there's cameras in the box. Like he's so scared. Not scared. I don't think these people get scared, but he's so concerned about how today, well, this was back in 2018 or 2017. He's like, have you noticed how our new government doesn't want you bringing around children? And then he's super nervous that it's like a sting operation, but we know that it is, right? And he's super nervous about being recorded or evidence or anything being collected or secretly taped. And so I thought that was kind of weird because the rest of them seem like they have no concept that people are watching and listening, and they're just so brazen in the things that they're saying and doing.
They are very happy. A lot of people are saying that their demeanor and behavior just does not match. It's not appropriate for the event.
Yeah, it's because we know that it's like an inside joke to them. It's a joke.
Tam Patriot says, "Yay, I made it live. I love you all so different." Well, thank you for that feedback, Tam Patriot. Also, Richie Imes says, "You're so Pleiadian, Gutter's wife."
I'm
Is
so Pleiadian.
that's
You
an
know,
adjective now.
Rochelle Paputzis, she says that she passed Laura Bush as she was entering a restaurant, um, and she looked down to avoid my eyes. You
Mm.
know that I was at a military event a long time ago, and uh, Big Mike was there giving a speech.
Hmm.
And then after, like, I waited, like, I wanted to see this person. Okay, Mike is very, very tall and he totally avoided eye contact. Um, and then it was interesting because they, he, she purposely would not acknowledge certain people. I noticed her, and I think it was based on the color they were wearing.
Well, Maureen Barone, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Are you ready to move forward to some pictures of Melania? Or do you want?
Let's just make sure in the chat that if anyone has any more questions,
All right, no
the
problem.
topics do get a little sensitive, so I can't really elaborate. And it's pretty much, I find that I'm having to like code myself live time. That's the problem with the live show too, is that it's just, but you guys know what's going on, so you can figure it out. And if you can't, there's certain people that you can ask and they know, they'll help you.
Reality Seer says seems like most things on MSM are scripted and made for television, and that them that still sleep, those people are sleeping. Yeah, I think I think definitely, and we might get into that next
Hmm.
episode talking about Operation Mockingbird. It's a little bit of a teaser there that the new media really is people like Gunner's wife, and I know I'm plugging her, but she's going out there, she's looking, she's reporting. Mainstream media is just an information op. It's very purposely trying to compel you to think a certain way.
Well, their job is to work with government intelligence agencies, because anything that they don't want the public to know becomes classified, and then the media will they'll spin it off the subject, or they'll call thing truth becomes conspiracy sometimes. And the whole job is to just guide the mindset of the masses away from certain subjects, or to ridicule certain subjects, because they just don't want you to know. I mean, it's classified. They'll do something, it's classified. Sorry, you're never going to know. We're going to make fun of you if you even try to find out.
Yeah, so let's see. CIA has an office in Hollywood? Probably. Diane Kerr says this event is just a satanic ritual. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Corin,
well, it's like a Columbus says technically, I guess this is a snake ring. So their little group there is a snake ring for snacks.
Sammy C says, wave, high, heart, rose. It is very true that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton really do smell like sulfur. And my sister said she bumped into Hillary at that talk in Toronto and she stunk.
Well, as far as I've been able to gather from the footage and the analysis and work that I do, is that I'm not because when I was next to Michelle Obama, I didn't I didn't, I mean, it was outdoors, but I didn't smell anything. From what I gathered from press um, audio feeds, is that th- when they bust open, or they actually shift, like energetically shift, that's when I think that emits. Now, however, if you consider their diet and what they eat um, for nutrition, they uh, they're dealing in some very gross, disgusting uh, meat eating that is probably doesn't smell very good. So perhaps they do always stink. I'm not. What I'm gathering is when they energetically shift, that's when they really reek.
You know, it's so interesting. I'm just me, you just be you. Says in the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning. Ouroboros snake eating its tail. I only mention that because in my Egyptian research, sorry, it's hard to read the name sometimes. My Egyptian
Your
research, they what? What?
wait, your naked force says smells like carrots and throw up.
Ew.
I can't believe I said that. I'm sorry. Never mind. I just
No.
read that.
It,
It was funny.
it's good. It's your show gunner's wife. You by all means. Anyway, so the Egyptians believe the same thing. Like when the sun set, their like space god was eating it, and then they would give birth to it in the morning or something like that. It was strange. Anyway.
Okay, obviously these things are not human. Like the way that they're just so look at this guy. He's like, I'm gonna I'm gonna help that kid when it when it asks, which we know what he's saying. It's like nobody acts like that. Like that's not well, unless you're a lunatic psychopath. And so feel free to put in the comments your lunatic psychopath of the week, every day having these weirdos. Like I don't think they're human, obviously, because the way they talk or the way they behave with what their activities and what that drives them and keeps them going is like a parasitic feed on humanity. It is not definitely not human.
Definitely not. Ree Cherie, thank you for the $17.76 super chat. Love that number.
Thank you, Rishri.
So, Richie Imes says, I hope this channel is not a honey trap. Richie, what this channel is,
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. But I'll tell you what this channel is. This channel is one girl, the gunner's wife, who's a mom and a wife, making her way through this screwed up world, trying to share what she sees with you. And it is genuine, and that's all it is. And she'll be
And
here every week.
I'm a former film studio artist, so I'm a character animator. So film is my thing anyway, but an act like all that stuff, character animation covers all of it. So it just the cast of characters in this show are just oh my gosh, there's so many villains. So many good guys, so many villains. I'm all about it. I'll analyze it all day. But yeah, it's me. It's just me and you. That's it. It's just us.
Hey, everybody, we've got 725 people here. Thank you so much for getting the
Wow.
word out. And we have 400 likes. That's awesome. If you forgot to like, hit that button. And if your notifications aren't turned on, sometimes they get turned off randomly for no reason. I have a conspiracy theory about that. But whatever. Go ahead and make sure your notifications are turned on and you hit like. So,
Lynn Frank says there's way too many psychos to list.
yeah, I
Emoji.
mean, there's like 7 billion people. What percentage of those are psychos? I mean, it's a lot of psychos out
Oh,
there.
who is the woman in the red coat? Brenda Petit. You are so observant, and that's what I'm wondering. Have they caught this person? Who is that lady? She's got the beret. There she is. And she goes camping with with the snakes. They go camping. That's got to be code for something terrible.
Got to keep your eye out.
Yeah, she's the supplier.
All right, Gunner's wife. In my research from Egypt, I also found another person who is in Egypt that is definitely not a monster. Would you like to talk about her for a minute?
Mimit. I think that she might be wearing a white hat and she is trolling lizards by showing up and looking rad and beautiful and awesome. And she just, her outfit is perfect.
It's awesome. Super good. Everybody was like in a all lathered up about it being like colonialist or something like that. But I figured that we definitely need to see there's probably a message, right? She dresses in code. Here she is at probably the entry point of the enemy onto Earth. likely also the Pharaoh had the, Moses and his people enslaved for like a long time. So anyway, I thought it was an interesting connection, and we would just take a look at her. What do you think about
Yes.
Milan?
And I think the Sphinx might have cut his nose off to spite his face. And the what are the secrets in the pyramids? It looks like Melania definitely knows.
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story there, and I'll tell you, um, it's very difficult. I don't know. Has anyone actually been to the pyramids? If you have, let me know in the chat. But I think doing my research, I think, folks, these things are way bigger than what you imagine when you look at pictures, right? I don't think the scale of these things is easy to describe unless you've actually been there. So
Yeah, it's so mysterious and so interesting. And just like a lot of people in the chat are so knowledgeable about the books of the Bible being ushered away into the Vatican vault and locked away from us, which I don't think they have the right to do that. You have to wonder how much from the pyramids is also being taken away and hidden, because hasn't there been around the clock crews like combing the sand of the entire Middle East and Africa for decades? That it, okay, where's all the stuff? I think that was a cool find that you did this week, ID10T. The fact that people actually found stuff and admitted it.
yeah, well, we'll see what they actually reveal. Probably be only what they want us to know. Big
Yeah.
shout out to Army Ranger E9, who sent a $10 super chat, and he says, "These are amazing times. God wins."
Thank you. Army Ranger? Army Ranger.
Army
E9.
Ranger E9.
Ooh, you get your own parking spots. Lucky you.
John Moore says, "I've never been to the pyramids, but people say that energy is generated if you stand under it. You can feel the energy."
Totally believe that, because some of the places you go in America, like especially in the deserts, and you have those cool mountain ranges behind you, and I think Colorado too, you can feel it. When you're in New York City, you can feel an energy. When you're in Los Angeles, you can feel an energy. I've been to these places and you feel a different kind of vibe. Like New York City is the kind of city that energizes you around the clock. It's really easy to get less sleep in New York City just naturally because of the energy there, or it used to be. I haven't been there in a while. What I've seen is not good, what it's kind of become.
Tracy Angel, thank you for subscribing to the channel live. You get a live shout out. David Calico says, "We invaded Iraq as soon as they decided to run off with Gilgamesh and artifacts." There is George Bush
Mm.
Sr. and Jr. with an intense interest in Iraq. And then I don't know if we remember from last week, we could run the clip again if you want, where George Bush is talking about how anybody know how many people were, sacrificed? Could potentially be a blood sacrifice in that war. It's quite a lot on all
Well,
sides.
yeah, and we saw Colin Powell's crying confession last week, which I finally changed the title card because I think that a lot of people weren't aware that we had confessions from Leon Panetta and we had confessions from Colin Powell, and Colin Powell is tearful. And the things that his wife are talking about and the things that Leon Panetta are talking about at the Bush funeral, which we went over last week, are out of this world. Like, it's definitely worth revisiting. And these conversations, you don't want to miss any, because like I said, we're building toward the big picture, and it's beyond our space and realm right now.
Harris Colvin says, "I'm in Colorado Springs. Awesome energy here in the Garden of the Gods. Must visit."
Ooh, I've been there. I've been there.
Let's see. Grand Canyon is filled with pyramids. Okay, interesting. People are talking about the Smithsonian, hiding artifacts and evidence. I think there's some stories of them hiding skeletons of giants and things like that. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll be able to get into that.
there's a photograph of Queen Elizabeth Breath, much younger, standing in front of a Smithsonian display in a case is an actual giant skeleton. She's standing there, smiling with her lizard teeth.
So there is a lot. Yeah, are the pyramids some sort of spacecraft? I think, Lynn, I don't think anybody really knows. I think we're just starting to kind of get an idea that there's something going on there. And I think that we're starting to unshackle ourselves from what we've been told is true and the false reality that's being built for us ever since we're kids. So we're not going to sit here and act like we know all the answers. What we're going to do is try to find evidence for you. Okay, special announcement, Gunner's wife. You have broken the 800 live concurrent viewers threshold.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Well done.
You're just in time for some really good stuff that we have left in the show. And then whatever you missed, please go back and watch.
Okay, so that rules us into another clip, the voodoo clip. We ready to roll that one, Gunner's wife?
Yeah, let me think about this. Did we
Okay.
just play my clip and then you have a clip at the end, right? I
We
just don't want to skip you.
Yeah, we've got one more. We got the 45 tribute, which will be our second to last clip.
Okay. All right. Roll it. Roll this one.
All right, let's do it.
The
Let me
voodoo one.
let's hit it.
Who's Georgie Porgy kissing over there? Keep cursing Trump's election with voodoo.
I'll fake chimpanzees if you want me to. Turning it around so no snake has a chance.
Watch Jenna's husband shake the man's hand on the deal. Some might say, oh, I thought Jenna was so nice. I probably should acknowledge in reptilian aliens as Luciferians as it's supposed to. Luciferians have different priorities. It's fixed when we hire morticians. You seem to forget that. This isn't Milwaukee. Just said there's reptilians. Citizens can't handle there's reptilians. You might want to start drinking. They know they're fighting demons, but it's a pyramid of fools. They know they're fighting demons, but it's a pyramid of fools. There is messages from the Egyptian pharaohs reclassified. The way that human beings serve reptilians is to have more babies than we take them. We're doing it for evil. It's part of the reptilian secret agenda. Go Safari. Both of our children are secret reptilian aliens, classified as bullshit. Since recorded human history, there's a reptilian human entity. In Genesis, it's what Adam and Eve were said. U.S. government's already working for reptilians. See that Yakuya Jets with Jenna, she'll come up and rip face off. U.S. government's already working for reptilians. See that Yakuya Jets with Jenna, she'll come up and rip face off.
And there we have it, Gunner's wife. Who was that weird character there?
That little. Well, she said that she's willing to fake chimpanzees if he asks her to. So she is the most loyal subject of Queen George, King George over here, and um, she's running her little uh, spell outfit where she's casting curses on on Trump's 2016 win. Isn't that nice?
Hmm.
She'll do anything if he asks her to. Anything.
All right. Let's
And
see.
he's kissing and hugging her.
Yeah, Yoda, says somebody. Comfortably numb 4191. Don't know about lizard people. Hey, go back, watch the beginning of this video. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
if I know about it completely, but there's something there. Like
well, we know enough that how many Christians are on planet Earth? Do we have a proper count? Because if you're a Christian and you believe in God and the devil, then you know that in the book of Genesis that um these reptilian entities are mentioned. So I think it was just this clip that we just watched where George Bush says there's been, since the beginning recorded history of man, there's always been a serpent entity or reptile entity. Then he's saying that his daughters are secret reptilian aliens. And he's sitting there like, because I think he's building up the anger as he goes around this room, because these people are not very friendly with him. That people do not like the wars that we got into. They don't like the way that things have been conducted with certain tragic events. Airports have forever changed where you're constantly having to take off your shoes now. That's like a new permanent new normal. People are not happy with the Bush leadership and what they did with the United States while they were in charge. And they're making it known in that room, and he's a very angry person when he goes around the room when people aren't kissing his butt like the little voodoo mama we saw. But so people are saying stuff to him, and he's like, yeah, well, it's all classified as BS. Haha. And oh, yeah, well, this isn't Milwaukee anymore. And he's so brazen. It's like he's going around agitating and very confrontational and very passive aggressive, and very instigating in a lot of the stuff that he's saying to people. And at one point, he says to some guy says something to him, and you see a lady very hostilely speaking to Bush, and then he goes, uh, "Both my children are classified secret reptilian aliens." And then there you see the people in the crowd, and they're just like, what? I can't believe he just said that. What did he just say? So the reptilian thing, or what I call them lizards. I'm a little uncomfortable with the word reptilian because it's been so um muddied with conspiracy theory, a very effective conspiracy theory marketing campaign by the intelligence community and media, that they paint it and taint it crazy, right? Oh, there can't be a serpent entity. That's crazy. Go put your tinfoil hat on. But yet, how many Christians are on this planet, and we know in the Bible it talks about it. So which do you choose? Do you believe intelligence and media that it doesn't exist, or do you believe the Bible?
Well, maybe we should start using the term ancient serpent, which is uh, straight out of the text of the scriptures. So there's a lot of, so anyway, I guess what I'm really trying to get at is you don't have to believe or buy anything. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep looking, we're going to keep listening, we're going to keep watching, we're going to keep digging, and we'll just show you guys what we find. And you can take it for what it is and make your own mind up. That's how the gunner's wife operates. Okay,
Okay, ID Tenty.
yeah, that's my
What
spiel.
what else did you find, ID Tenty?
Anyway, so congratulations, we've hit 900. I don't know, is this the day? Are we going to make the push to 1,000? While I obsess over numbers with my ADD way. So, Gunner's wife, we did have another
Just
clip
so.
queued up, but I switched it over to this while you're talking. So I'm going to get that clip back up. Let's see. No, we did do voodoo. Yeah. Okay. Next one's on me. All right. I'm going to set this one up. I'm happy with this one. Okay, folks. So here's the deal. Last week we were talking about pressure making diamonds, right? We're talking about how rough everything is and how things are kind of bad, and people are asking, yo, like when's 45 coming back? When is all of this gonna end? And it's like, I don't really know, but let's take a look at 45 and what he did his way, and let's feel inspired by it. So here we go.
Hey, goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form. We are a nation of incredible, decent, faithful, and peace-loving citizens who all want our country to thrive and flourish and be very, very successful and good.
And now, the end is near, and so I face the final curtain, my friend. I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way.
We are and must always be a land of hope, of light, and of glory to all the world.
Regrets? I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way.
I go from this majestic place with a loyal and joyful heart, an optimistic spirit, and a supreme confidence that for our country and for our children, the best is yet to come.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew, but through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and I did it my way.
Thank you and farewell. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way.
And maybe it'll be your home again.
Never say never.
Never say never.
For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. To say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows, and I did it my way.
And I just want to say goodbye, but hopefully it's not a long-term goodbye. We'll see each other again. Thank you all very much.
Come back.
All right, there it is, Gunner's Wife. That is the 45 tribute assignment. What do you think, folks? Do you like it? Or what do you think, Gunner's Wife? Did you like that?
I love the Trump family, and I think that they have done a fantastic job. And there's, everything that we see was that was going on. There's also equally all this other stuff going on. You've got an entire swamp to drain, and he was doing it. We're finding out even from the Bush funeral, just the fact that they were hiding cameras and listening in those rooms, and you can hear the media saying, making comments about zoom into those people. um, we know that the special counsel of Durham started back even right before the Bush funeral, because we saw George W getting nervous about it and talking about it. I think it was 2 episodes ago of the live stream. So we know that Trump not only works on the surface but below the surface. I mean, it's like truly 5D chess moves and counter moves that are going on, and surprising white hats with Manchin and Colin Powell. Did you ever see that coming with Joe Manchin and Colin Powell? And so if you know that if even they uh, turned evidence, then or are working on, kind of being subversive into the swamp among the reptiles, like you can only imagine how many people. And Trump has a way of turning people like, hey, I'll make a deal with you. It's the art of the deal, right? I'll make a deal with you. I know you did all this. Turn in what's his face, and then we can talk.
Well, thank you for that insight, Gunner's Wife. I think we've got, unless you want to address some of the comments, looks like you're smiling at them. We are going to continue to roll on.
I think what Bush meant by "this isn't Milwaukee anymore" when he was trolling the crowd is I think that that's supposed to be some kind of, like, middle America put down by some elite, like, "Oh, this isn't Milwaukee anymore," because he's talking from DC and all their, like, palatial, trillion-dollar black budget, powerful, security guard, like, place. DC is its own special swamp, so this isn't Milwaukee anymore, sweetheart. He's just such an elitist lizard.
All right. What else do we have down there? Wow, there are some interesting comments in there. I'm going to let you choose the ones that you want to address, though. I could do this one. May God bless you, Gunner's wife. Thank you for wonderful work. Sunflower, kiss face, monkey.
Thank you, TD. Um, happy days are over. Oh, that's a good point, Lynn Frank. She says maybe Bush meant that it's not Milwaukee anymore because that their happy days are over.
Interesting.
Okay, so um that was a very feel good video, and I think you did a really good job on that ID 10T.
Great, thanks. We're going to go ahead and roll our last clip, and then we're going to turn it over to you for some other stuff, Gunner's wife. So let me get that pulled up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up because I have so much work and I'm still finding my stride on these shows, and I'm having a burnout factor adjusting to the new setup that we're doing. It's very difficult to bring these clips so quickly and get them ready for an entire show every week. So it is a lot of work, and I don't want to get too burnout. So I'm still finding my way. I'm gonna hit my stride here. We're close.
Well, I think you're doing awesome, Gunner's wife, and I think people love your
Thank you.
show, and you're kicking butt. So don't burn out because we need you in the fight. We need you
You
here.
guys keep me going.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and roll this clip.
Our secret reptilian aliens. Watch Jenna when he says that.
How's it secret if you tell everyone? He just said we're reptilian aliens.
Oops. Oh. We can watch it all again, knowing what they say. Both of our children are secret reptilian aliens. How's it secret if you tell everyone?
He just said we're reptilian aliens.
Oops.
He just said we're reptilian aliens.
Oops.
We're reptilian aliens.
Hello, lizards. I'm the gunner's wife. Our children are secret reptilian aliens.
Really says.
Watch Jenna when he says that.
All right, Gunner's wife, that is looped through. I'm gonna go ahead and fade it out, and we'll talk about that video there.
So see her right there when George Bush says both of my children are secret reptilian aliens. It's the strangest look on her face. It's as if he just embarrassed his child in front of her entire school or something, or in front of all of her peers, like at the prom on stage. Like he embarrassed her. You can see the look on her face. It's almost like it hit well, it did. It hit her deepest, darkest secret, right? But this is like, I mean, you got to figure, are they hybrids? What are these things that, because you saw her shape shifting earlier in our last clip. So they're cloaking in human form. Are they hybrid? Are they half human, half lizard, to where they have a certain amount of human emotion that helps them blend? Because by the look of her, she, in that moment, she looked like a child on stage that her dad just exposed her most embarrassing secret, and she's looking at these young men that turn around and look shocked to each other. She's looking at them waiting for some kind of like acceptance that she just doesn't get, and I think it fuels this family's anger, because we see Bush going around the room and he's fueled by people's trolling. By them saying, "Hey, you should fix your priorities. I can't believe what you did to a whole generation with the Iraq." Um, and he gets more angry and he has more comebacks. And you can see when she sees those men, their response when her dad says, "Both my children are secret reptilian aliens," and they're like, like horrified, right? You can see her, she's mortified. And I think that fuels the anger where, yeah, Jenna, the secret reptilian alien, she'll come up and she'll rip your face off. And Bush says she'll come up and rip your face off. Now, who else do we know that's, comes up and rips faces off, you know?
Somebody does.
Somebody.
Thank you, Gunner's Wife, for all your hard work. It is much appreciated from Mud Rabbit. Let's see. Oh, it's nice to see the original ID10T this evening. Yeah, I've returned. Somebody was talking about Elon Musk. If you haven't gone back, the chat's moving so fast, but if you haven't, you can go back. We did do an episode, I think it was episode 1, wasn't it? AI and Elon Musk. What?
Do not read the word in the chat. Do not do it.
The
Do
one
not do it.
from the muskrat?
Oh, I don't know. Just don't say it on the live stream. Do not say the word on the chats.
Okay, I won't, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, good. That's good.
Well, Gunner's Wife, we have gotten through your planned program, and now it's over to you to do any chats if you want.
I can't do the chats right now.
You can't read them?
Let me see, guys.
Oh,
God.
guys, you're doing so good. This could be the week we hit 1,000. We're so close.
People think Elon Musk is helping white hats. Guys, have we not learned enough? I don't, this is just me. I hope to be proven wrong. This is the one time on the Elon Musk thing, but the stakes are too high. And what I hear from him aligning with Klaus Schwab's or that weirdo guy, he and what he aligns with Germany and the way that he has no loyalty to even the guy Tesla. And he goes, "I like people who win. I prefer Thomas Edison over Tesla." It just, he seems like he'll do and say anything for a buck. And the steering to AI, that's very I think that's a direct challenge to God.
Hmm.
Like that what was that guy Uraldi last week? That
Oh yeah,
Israeli professor.
we can put
His
him up in
name's
the
I think his
background.
name was Yuval.
Yeah, it was like
Very similar to an event in the news which we're not going to talk about.
yeah, this fella right here.
That guy, he talks with his hands like Bill Gates. Like, what was our challenge this week? Who is the biggest lunatic psychopath of the week? That guy won last week,
Yeah,
in my mind.
yeah, definitely. But
Elon Musk is always a contender in my mind.
yeah, this guy's one of the worst of them all. I don't know which guy they're talking about, but Bible reading tonight was about the Tower of Babel. Oh, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I do know that it was God struck it down to pieces. Remember? And I think that's in Genesis when he did that.
God is pretty awesome, but I am very concerned about all the stuff that we don't get to read from the Bible and original scrolls and scriptures because someone said that Queen Elizabeth owns the copyright to the New King James Version of the Bible. That's super red flag. Super red flag, you know? And then I heard someone say that you cannot change the Bible. The Bible will change itself back or something. I don't know. People have theories. Hey.
Hmm.
Ooh, Think Mirror says they say he's the anti-Christ. Think AI takeover might be. We heard that in the Garden of Eden at the G7, we heard the swamp creatures in the bushes saying, I think it was the Queen's voice. She says Hillary Clinton is has the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is Hillary Clinton. Something like that. I
Hmm.
don't know what Hillary Clinton could possibly bring, but you know what? She didn't win. She didn't win. So Elon Musk probably doesn't like her because he only likes people that win.
Interesting. So Judy Ames says, I was such a fool to work on 2 of George W. campaigns. George W. spoke in a church, and I was so proud to help the Secret Service get the ministers to this church.
It's okay, everybody, because there's a lot of people that regret voting for Obama. What were you going to get? Mitt Romney? John McCain? I mean, now we see that this deep state, our government is working for these freaking alien things. Like they're all sold out and they're pretending to be two sides of the same coin. You're not going to win. Don't regret. You were duped. That's what the father of lies does. He dupes everyone and then you feel your own shame and he likes that. He wants you to feel shame because he feeds on it. Don't feel ashamed. You didn't know. People who voted Obama, they didn't know. Now, if you're still voting for these lunatics, either way, Republican, Democrat, you need an outsider. You need an outsider.
Eagle Ergo says, how do they function as creatures on TV and White House as most of the staff remains there for decades and in person with normal everyday people? Mind-boggling.
Well, it's like Colin Powell's wife said. She said a lot of people are sick of DC, which means Trump has friends. So those people that are stuck there, like you look at that security guy, the Secret Service guy behind George Bush, when George Bush is saying all these terrible things to people, and all you can see the misery on their faces. They're just there and they're like watching him. They're basically on like probably PTSD waiting for someone to to react to the provocation, the constant provocation that of the words of some of these politicians because they provoke these crowds with the very disrespectful terrible things that they say and that these secret service guys hear it all see it all and what are they how do they live with themselves the things that they know I'm sure if any of them have any decency, they're just dying to flip. They'll do it too. They'll do it because it's the only thing you got left. Your entire dignity is trampled, your conscience is dirtied, your guilt is through the roof. Like they at some point they just have to flip. That's the only way to free yourself from the cage.
Mm. Okay, Gunner's wife, we are going to go ahead and I think we're gonna end it unless you see something particularly interesting that you want to. Well, I'll just turn it over to you, Gunner's wife. We'll keep going as long as you want.
I'm good. I do want to go, and you guys, your chats are so good. I know a lot of people get lost in the chats. They don't even listen to us. But catch it on the repost because there are some very juicy lip reads which are going to be important to build in the reveal as we go along. So next week there's going to be more. So if you're not aware of the Colin Powell or Leon Panetta confessions, go back to last week. If you're not aware of when Trump was or when W was concerned about the special counsel that Trump was setting up, then go back to 2 episodes ago of the live stream. You need to catch up because now we're on 6. Next week we're on 7, and you do not want to get left behind because this stuff is too juicy. It's a big picture that we're painting. You can't paint it all in one day. You can't.
So let's do a shout out to Sorry Not Sorry. I almost missed them who sent I think her a $3 super chat. Thank you so much for your support. And Kimmy Gibb, thank you for the subscription to the channel. And we're getting a lot of, oh my gosh, folks, we are only 35 people away from 1,000. But we're just
Maybe
gonna
next week
maybe
we
next
will hit
week,
that
folks.
for you, ID10T. You're such a numbers. Are you into gematria, ID10T? Because I'm terrible at math. Terrible.
I know how to do math. That's about it.
All right, guys. Well, we love you. Thank you for being here.
All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stop the stream. Thank you so much for your time, Gunner's wife. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your positive feedback, everyone, your emojis, your super chats, your comments, your follows. And thank you also for voting for me to not be fired. Gunner's wife, I will give you the
Let's
final
see what
word.
ID10T does next week. Oh my gosh. Get your comments in on the lunatic psychopath of the week, though. I really want to know what you say.
Okay, folks, we're going to say goodbye and we are going to end the stream in 3, 2, 1.